Well, it is the hit that in some senses rocked the hockey world and certainly rocked Max Pacioretty on the part of Zdeno Chara. And ever since that hit, there's been a lot of talk regarding the padding on stanchions, but there have been other huge hits like this one on former Oiler Ryan Smith by current teammate Jack Johnson that knocked Smith out of that game. And Chris Guertin, who is the owner and president of Sports Resource Group, which is a local company, saw that hit on Ryan Smith. And what made you decide to start working towards something that was a little safer when it came to padding?
Well, it's certainly something that anybody can do. That's the first thing we want to look into is what can we do with safety that isn't going to cost $10,000, $15,000, $30,000, and that's where the pad idea came up from. I have a history in dealing with rink equipment, so I knew that the padding out there was almost more of an afterthought, and I wanted to make it a priority.
Okay, and you've got sort of the before and after. Show us what is now in most NHL rinks and then what you came up with.
Yeah, absolutely. We call this the industry standard. So it's a U-shaped or horseshoe-shaped piece of foam. You can see it's not very dense, it's not very thick, and not only that, but the shape of a U is being bent into an L, which compresses the foam pretty much where Max hit the pad. You can see what I can do with my fingers. This is with no impact whatsoever, no force, how I can compress it almost down to paper size. What we've done is we've changed it with our own Fusion Safety Pad. So this is called the Fusion Safety Pad, and what we're trying to accomplish here is we change the shape. So this, and if Max were to hit our pads, this is the part he would have hit. It's a thicker pad, it's a more dense foam, it's a better shape, it fits the L shape, and then overall the height, what is in a lot of the NHL arenas right now are 36 inches. Now it's 48, 60, or 72 inches.
Now, where are you at when it comes to getting these into those NHL rinks?
Well, your viewers watching the game tonight will see them here in Minnesota. So that's one of the instances. Then our latest order is actually the Edmonton Oilers. So Rexall Place will have these, and we'll actually ship these out tomorrow. So they'll be there as soon as early next week. Other than that, we're concentrating on mainly playoff teams because these are players who are going to be playing into May and June.
Now, some of the numbers you were talking about, what was the one about 100%, 64%? Can you explain that one?
Absolutely. So now to get a product in the NHL, you have to go through some pretty stringent testing. We went through a group, Vector Scientific, VSI out of California, and they start with an unhelmeted player skating at 9.5 miles per hour, and they practice, basically, they test it into a stanchion, a non-padded stanchion. There's, as you can imagine, a 100% concussion rate. With the current industry standard pad, we're down, with this pad, you're at a 64% concussion rate, and we weren't happy with that. So our Fusion safety pads have reduced that rate down to 1%. So there's a 1% concussion rate simply because you can never say there will never be a concussion, but we think we've done as much as possible to protect players in that situation. There's 4 corners per arena that players, youth, and community level players, professional players need to be protected against.
Chris, thanks for this. A lot of information, a lot of good information, but basically this will help save guys like Max Pacioretty and others. Appreciate your time, and good luck getting these into all rinks.
You'll see them in Edmonton next week.
Okay, all right, there you go. Why don't I just take it? I'll save you the shipping cost. All right, there you go. Chris, thanks very much. Music provided by Universal Canada.